All right, Mr. Hudak, how we doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. So let's talk about attitude. And you talk about the different pillars of a salesperson's engagement. And frequently attitude doesn't get talked about much, certainly not upfront. They want to go to technique and other behaviors, etc. But the attitude you carry in determines a lot of the outcome and the energy you bring, that as long as it's not way over the top, those kinds of things. But we all have those moments. We engage and we sound like Eeyore, or we engage and we aren't there. We're struggling. And it's the one area where I've had some agreement over the years of sometimes we fake an attitude or an energy level to bring what we know is the best of us, but we might not be feeling it at the moment. But can you talk about that attitude, how it impacts a sales conversation, and how to get better at
it? This is one of those topics where you could really dive deep and have a whole hour podcast on it. It changes everything. It's not all about attitude, by the way. I could have a great attitude, but until I actually start doing something, it's not going to matter, right? Sure. So let's pretend that I want to do stuff. I'm about to do the behaviors, whatever. Right. Attitude controls everything. It absolutely does. And the problem with it is most of us have a bad attitude about ourselves. Most of us do not view ourselves favorably. And you want proof on this, look at yourself in the mirror. Most people are not going, hey, 2 thumbs up. Most people are going, oh, I hate that spot, or I need it, right? We're always looking at, I got to change something. That's the negative self-belief. So how do we increase this attitude and our beliefs in ourselves? By the way, that includes personal presence. That includes self-image, self-confidence, right? So it's at the top of all sales. If you're taking sales training or sales coaching, you have to work on attitude. And it really involves 3 things: working on your belief in your own company. Do I believe that my company, the people that work here, are top notch? Or do I not like it? Because if I don't like my own company, it's harder to sell. Second, do I like the people that I'm selling to, my customers? Do I like those types of people? If I don't, it's going to be very difficult to sell. And then ultimately, how do I feel about myself? And this is the area that I'll give a couple real quick pointers that can change your life, not just in sales, but outside of business. And that is, how do we improve our attitude about everything? Work on 3 things: body, mind, spirit. Work on your body, get good exercise, eat well, drink lots of fluids to keep you hydrated, make ourselves feel good. When we start to feel good, we act good. Work on our minds. None of this garbage going in. Work on things like motivation and inspiration, and listen to YouTube videos that are just fantastic, that really kind of get you going, right? Or read books that make you feel good. And then working on your spirit. It's, what do we do during tough times? How do we de-stress ourselves? How do we make sure that we are focused on where we're going? And if you work on those 3 things, body, mind, spirit, everything else falls into place.
Yeah, some of the things in there that said are really interesting. You almost framed attitude like we have vanity around our attitude, which I think is really interesting, because we look in the mirror and we're like, I don't like that won't bother, whatever. I mean, we all have those things. The vast majority of other people never even notice. But when you think about attitude and how you carry yourself in, I think everybody thinks attitude as just the mental side. And you just frame it, hey, it's body, it's how we feel about ourselves. Do we feel like we're in good shape? And we could always be in better shape. We have those conversations, but how do we feel about that? And that impacts our attitude, our spiritual side, our those kinds of things, and where we fit that in for things. It affects ultimately our attitude. And so I think what you're really helping people understand is there's more to it, but you have a lot more control over it than maybe you think you do.
Yeah. And a real quick example, if I asked everybody listening to this to come up with the top 5 things in their life that they love, I don't know the percent, 95 plus would never list themselves.
Yep.
They would list everything else.
You did that recently with our team, and nobody in the room said themselves, not a one. Yeah. Good stuff.
Starts with us. If we don't love ourselves, if we're not happy with who we are, we're not as useful in society.
No doubt. All right, everybody. See you in the morning.
Take care.